All right, the latest news break coming in on the solar scam. The Kerala Chief Minister Oommen Chandy now facing heat over the 2013 solar scam. BJP protests outside the Kerala secretariat, and the latest filtering in is that water cannons have also been used. Well, these visuals were recorded just a short while back in front of the Kerala secretariat. Oommen Chandy, who is allegedly directly involved in the solar scam, has decided to brazen it out, refusing to step down. A big political issue now erupts in Kerala. I want to connect to Revathi, who's going to take us through the latest coming in. Revathi, it's over to you. Are you with us, Revathi? All right. We're having an audio problem with Revathi, and we're going to try and re-establish that. But I would like to take our viewers to the latest developments coming in now. These visuals come to you right outside the secretariat in Kerala, in Thiruvananthapuram, and what we are witnessing is massive BJP protests. And what is just coming in that things got a little out of hand a short while back, and water cannons had to be used. Something which usually Kerala is not quite used to, something which is commonplace in Delhi. But that's what's filtering in. I want to connect to Revathi right now, my colleague. Revathi, I believe, can you hear me?
Audio undo ivide.
Revathi, I understand there's an audio problem which is taking place, but if you can hear me, if we have been able to rectify that, can you just give us the latest coming in, get us up to speed with the ground situation? All right, so as we try and connect to Revathi, these are the visuals that were recorded just about a short while ago with water cannons being used on BJP protesters who were staking outside the Kerala secretariat there. And clearly things getting out of hand with them clashing with the local police. So what we are going to do is we're going to come right back to the story and get my colleague Revathi live with us. But as we speak, water cannons being used against BJP supporters who are protesting outside the Kerala secretariat. Meanwhile, another story coming in from Kerala. SFI students heckle Higher Education Council chairperson at the Global Education Meet. Opposition protest seeks resignation of Oommen Chandy. Protest outside the Global Education Meet in Kollam. SFI protesting entry of foreign universities in the state and protests against commercialization of higher education. Now, the head of Higher Education Council, TP Srinivasan, was also attacked and fell to the ground. All right, so these visuals coming in from Kollam there with SFI students, which is the student wing of the left, clashing with the head of the Kerala Higher Education Council. You can see right there, that's him, that's Mr. TP Srinivasan, attacked by these SFI students. I want to connect to Revathi. Revathi, would you get us up to speed on what transpired in Kollam?
Well, the global education meet that began today was being held at Kovalam in the presence of Education Minister and Higher Education Council head TP Srinivasan. When he was arriving at the spot is when the SFI, the Students' Union of the CPM, protested. Now, the protesters say that this attempt, the global education meet, was an attempt to privatize education and to sell education as a commodity. And they protested against the entry of foreign universities, foreign colleges, saying that they were fourth grade colleges that were being brought to Kerala, and there is a complete privatization of education that is being taken place under the mask of a meeting or a seminar like this. And as part of the protest, they had growled TP Srinivasan, who was to attend the education meet, and during the protest he was heckled and manhandled, and as you can see in the visuals, he actually fell down in the attack, in the protest amidst the SFI members at Kovalam today.
Revathi, We're going to come back to you on this story, but what I will do is, do stay on with me. We'll go back, recount the other developing story that is taking place, and I believe you are on ground there, which is outside the secretariat where BJP cadres were protesting. So these visuals recorded a short while back where water cannons were used against the BJP cadre. Right now, have things settled? Have the police been able to disperse the crowds?
Yes, the protest lasted for about 5 minutes when the BJP members actually ran towards the secretariat. They tried to enter the secretariat, but the policemen were deployed. Several policemen were deployed here. The barricades were laid. If my cameraman could pan across and show you the crowd that is assembled here at the venue, you can see the crowd. The BJP members are here. The protesters haven't come down. They have been dispersed, but right now they are holding a peaceful protest with just a speech. And the main demand of these protesters is that Chief Minister Oommen Chandy resign in the wake of the Vigilance Court's order that came in on Thursday, ordering to register an FIR against the Chief Minister and Power Minister Aryadhan Mohammed. And this is just the BJP's protest that we saw right now. And anytime we're also expecting the protest by the opposition, the LDF, demanding the resignation of Chief Minister Oommen Chandy.
On that account, of course, the Chief Minister decided to brazen it out, hasn't he? Completely supported by the centre, by the Congress, which is in Delhi. All right, once again, we are having an audio problem with Revati. We're going to try and reconnect, but these visuals being recorded outside the secretariat at Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. We're going to get our viewers the very latest coming in. The Chief Minister in this account, with full backing of the Congress President and the Vice President, has decided to brazen it out, the entire controversy. All right, the latest visuals coming in. Let's listen in. All right, so what we are getting in is that the BJP supporters, after they clashed with the local police, water cannons were used, they've decided to now resort to a more peaceful protest. But what is expected in a short while from now on the same venue is the current opposition, the LDF, the left now. The cadre of the left would be coming in, gathering to protest, and the police anticipates that things could come to a head once again. All right, so this is the BJP unit there. The leaders telling the cadre to not take law into their hands and resort to a peaceful protest. All right, political upheaval in Kerala. Let's shift focus to Bengal there. Bengal, on the other hand, has become extremely violent, with the two areas of Birbhum and Malda erupting in infighting between TMC workers. One person has been killed after clashes between two TMC factions in Malda's Kaliachak this morning. Unidentified miscreants fired 5 rounds at one Ilyas Sheikh, who died at the spot. He is known to be a local TMC worker. The incident took place at the Khirki-Bona area under Kaliachak police station in Malda. Meanwhile, another turf war in Nanur, West Bengal's Birbhum district, also turned violent. Gadadhar Hazara, who is an MLA from Nanur, and local TMC leader Sheikh Kajol supporters clashed with each other. Bombs were used during this clash as well. I want to immediately connect to Indrajit Kundu, who's going to get us up to speed with the latest developments. You know, Indro, sadly so, the political narrative of West Bengal doesn't change. We can see TMC workers, their crude bombs in their hand, locally made pistols, firing at each other, which has already claimed one fight. This infighting has already claimed one fight. Will you get us up to speed on what is the current ground situation?
Well, that's right, Preeti. One person has died in Malda. Fortunately, even though the situation is much worse in Birbhum, given what we are seeing on our screens right now, but nobody has died in Birbhum. In both areas, both in Malda as well as in Birbhum, the area does remain tense at this point in time. Both these areas have seen violence since wee hours in the morning. In Birbhum, you have two factions of the Trinamool Congress, one that belongs to the local MLA of Nanur, Gadadhar Hazara, and the other is a strong person, strong man, Sheikh Kajol in that area, and the clash leading to violence that erupted. There were locals who fled that area initially in the morning in the wee hours. Later on, when additional deployments of police were made to that area, some of the locals were able to enter their houses once again. So peace posting is there, but the situation remains tense as far as Birbhum is concerned. In Malda, Kaliachak, of course, has been in the news over the past 1 month with the violence that we saw on January 3rd. Once again, violence erupting there. Some amount of bombing were also reported. An unidentified gunman fired indiscriminately at one person who has been now identified as Ilyas Sheikh. He has, of course, died. 5 rounds were fired at him at point-blank range. And this was also reported to be a TMC factional clash, a bloody tough war between 2 factions of the Trinamool trying to control that area.
All right, appreciate, stay on with us, Indro. Let's also bring in Manogya Loiwala, our colleague who's also reporting on the story. Manogya, could you give us some perspective, throw some light? Who are these 2 individuals of the TMC, these 2 leaders that the supporters are infighting? And why is it so difficult for Mamata Banerjee to actually crack down on these 2 leaders?
Well, it's a failure not only on the part of the law and order of the state government, but also of the Trinamool chief, Mamata Banerjee, who has been trying to curb the violence in past few days. We've seen that she has repeatedly told her cadres, her supporters across the state to maintain peace. But that somehow doesn't seem to be conveyed to the grassroots level. This again is one of those instances where we've seen violence erupting between 2 leaders who are local leaders there. One is the faction of Krishnendu Narayan Chaudhary and the other is a local leader faction. And these 2 factions have been fighting outrageously in past few days. But now with assailants almost firing at people is absolutely unheard of. And this could just be the beginning, or rather the repercussions of what we've seen in the past few days, at least in the Trinamool Congress politics.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Manogya. We're going to come back to you for more updates there, Indro, as well. With what is coming in, the latest, 1 person has been killed in Malda right now. And the situation remains tense, simmering as we speak.
Our policemen are not even being provided with basic mine-proof vehicles.
That's right, Radeep, and if we are to just put things into perspective, improvised explosive devices of the type that we saw
about the show, it's pollution-free, it's noise-free, and it's opinion-free. Well, actually it's not, because all we have is our opinion. On the show this